Well, hello, Shelby.
Hi, Tim. How are you?
I'm great. Happy October.
Happy October indeed. Are you getting ready for Halloween?
Soon I will, but there's another holiday that I have to celebrate first.
Oh,
It's Thanksgiving in Canada.
oh, that's right. Canadian Thanksgiving.
That's right.
You get to enjoy the warm weather, and we're stuck, never knowing what we're gonna get for Thanksgiving.
That's right. It's the one thing that Canada likes to do before the United States, celebrate Thanksgiving.
Happy early Thanksgiving. Are you gonna have pumpkin pie?
Oh, yes, certainly. And pecan pie.
Oh, the great pie debate. So you do both then. In my house, we're a pretty strong pumpkin pie family. But which do you prefer? Do you have strong feelings about it?
I can't decide. And once I tried to make both pies together like a pizza, half and half. It just didn't turn out very well.
Yeah, I do a fair amount of baking. I probably could have saved you the heartbreak on that. But before any other crazy ideas, let me know. I always have a spare stomach just for desserts, it seems. Anyways, we're not here to just talk about pie, unfortunately. Um, so we're also going to talk about and meet our new leader of GLOS. Super excited to introduce Jen Boehme, who joined us on August 1st officially as CEO.
Well, welcome, Jennifer, to not only GLOS, but also the Seagull Livestream. We're thrilled to have you here.
Hi, everybody.
So Jen comes to us from the International Joint Commission, or IJC.
Shelby, just a quick question. I'm a bit older and my knees aren't very good. Would Jen have some advice for me on my aging joints? Is that what this is about?
No.
Not from the IJC side of things. Not quite. Jen, do you want to give the snapshot on what IJC is?
Yeah, so that was the International Joint Commission, and it prevents and resolves disputes over shared boundary waters between Canada and the US. So it assists the two countries in protecting the transboundary water environment and improvement of transboundary air quality.
That was so much better than I could have said it, Jen. And
Oh.
obviously, you've had so much
Yeah.
practice doing it. So thank you for sharing that. And we're really excited that you're here as CEO and joining us today. And also, just a reminder for anyone who is watching, and maybe not a reminder because you probably didn't know, but Jen was also a member of the GLOS board for many years before she transitioned to her new role, which is really good news for GLOS because she's really well aware of what we do, how we operate, and can help move us forward to where we want to be in the future.
Yeah, clearly I was off base on what the International Joint Commission was all about.
That's okay.
We are super excited to have you here on the show today, Jen. We're going to talk about Seagull. I think Shelby's got the first question for you, so let's kick it off, Shelby.
Yeah, absolutely. Thanks, Tim. So when did you first hear about Seagull?
It was pre-COVID, probably 2019-ish, early 2019.
Oh, okay. So this early version that I think Tim always shared.
Yeah, that was a super long time ago. Back then, we didn't really know what it was going to become, but one thing that we didn't talk about was when it was going to be finished and released. We took kind of the Fight Club approach.
I haven't seen that on your slides before, Tim.
That was a very old slide, maybe even before you joined, Shelby, because that's the first question that people always ask is, oh, great, you're building new software. When is it going to be done? I've seen a PowerPoint slide. That means it is done. When can I start using it? But yes, that was before COVID, and a lot has happened since then, hasn't it?
Absolutely. Lots of changes for sure.
It's come far. So what did... There's plenty of COVID jokes.
All right. What's the next question, Shelby?
Yes. So what did you think about the idea of Seagull back then? What were you thinking that it would end up being?
You know, even in the early days, it was obvious it was very obvious, and we could see the promise of Seagull. The response from researchers has been great, and it was something that was always much more evident to me. I never would have predicted the level of interest from our casual users, which drive a majority of visits to Seagull, and that has just been wonderful to see over the years.
And Jen, now we have, as you know, back when we started, we had less than 75 platforms on Seagull. We now have over 220 platforms, over 2,000 registered users, 5 million hits on the Seagull platform, and
Yep.
200,000 unique visitors to
Yep.
Seagull. So where do you think that's going to go from here?
I think Seagull will continue to evolve. There will be growth in its connected ecosystem of smart technologies. And we hope to grow wintertime observations as well here at GLOS. Along with all of those technologies, I think we're aiming to eventually include even more useful information. So whether a local beach is open for swimming, if water is safe to drink at your popular campground spot, what are the current wave heights at a popular fishing location? These are all things that we're aiming for as a next iteration, the next phase for Seagull development. And, I would also say Canada and the US recognize that there are binational challenges to solve in this region. And Seagull can support those efforts by leveraging its new technologies and help improve the way people learn about and respond to different lake events.
That's great. And speaking of fishermen, you shared with us that your husband is a really avid angler.
Yes.
Does he use Seagull to help him check conditions before he goes out?
So Jim does so less than you'd expect in that he focuses on trout streams. So he's an inland waters guy.
Okay, got it. So do you use Seagull? Are you on the lakes?
Yes, I do check for interest. I used to regularly drive across the Detroit River on the Ambassador Bridge, so it was nice to know what the winds were before I drove across.
Definitely. So it sounds like you use more Seagull than he does, which is,
At this point, I do, yes.
I guess it also makes sense since you're helping, shape it and lead GLOS. So then one other question for you is, do you have a favorite platform? I know everyone sometimes has platforms, but I'm curious if you have one as well.
So as I said, I'd like to check in on the Detroit River and the Lake St. Clair buoys since they are so close to my former office in Windsor. My favorite place in Michigan, though, is Sleeping Bear Dunes, so that platform's also my favorite.
Okay, awesome. Those are really good locations. I was hoping to pull that up quickly, but my screen share doesn't seem to be working smoothly, but that's okay.
That's okay because since Seagull is free and open to anyone, you can just go to seagull.glos.org and see it for yourself. See Jen's favorite buoy, Sleeping Bear Dune, or the Detroit River and Lake St. Clair buoys. They're live.
Check it out.
Live. It's a seasonal system that we have here in the Great Lakes, as many of you know. So some of these buoys get collected or in the fall, so right around now, and then they're redeployed again in the spring.
Yeah.
Jen, thanks so much for being on the show today. It's been great. And before we part ways, which I guess we're really never going to do because we are.
Are you telling me something,
Tim? Before we part ways, just on the show, what's one thing that you would say? We have sometimes single-digit users who watch this live stream. Sometimes we have hundreds or thousands. So since we never know, what would you say to the thousands of potential Seagull users watching this live stream either now or in the future?
We love to improve, and to do that, we need your feedback. So if you have feedback on Seagull or anything else for GLOS, please get in touch with the orange feedback bar right in Seagull.
Well, thanks again, Jen. It's been great to have you, and we look forward to seeing you in the app and on a future live stream as well, and around.
Absolutely. Thanks very much, guys.
Okay. Thank you, Jen.
Bye for now. Well, Shelby, where are we? I sort of mentioned that we've got a number of platforms that will be coming out of the water, but what's the status on that? Do you have that at the top of your head?
Only because I had a little bit of warning that we were going to maybe discuss this today, and Jen's discussion around her favorite platforms reminded me, all the observing system is really my bread and butter at GLOS. My job is to, be in touch with all the people who own and operate these buoys, understand when they're coming and going, what changes are happening. So I did a little bit of look back to see how the system has been changing, and from the earliest records I could find on Google Drive before 2016, we had about 60 total platforms that were sharing what we call in near real time. So what you're used to looking at on Seagull. And then in 2021, as we were preparing for the great Seagull migration from our old platform to our new platform, we had 170 stations with live data. And today, literally this map is from today, we're at almost 230 platforms on Seagull with more on the way. And that doesn't include other data that we have, such as model information, non-real-time data, and aggregated data sets available under the Data Council. So we've almost quadrupled the amount of data we're sharing. And we've definitely given it a big facelift and made it more accessible for everyone.
And it should be mentioned, GLOS is the Certified Regional Association for the Integrated Ocean Observing System in the Great Lakes. And we rely on data providers and partners in the region to share data with us, which in turn we share with you. We have an obligation to freely make this daily data available to you and anyone else. And in many cases, we also put it back into the National Archives data warehouses so it can be stored forever.
Exactly. Good plug. And a reminder that we don't, I think sometimes users get upset when their favorite platform isn't reporting, but we don't own and operate these. We are just data aggregators and data sharers. So, but we really appreciate everyone who writes in and offers feedback on the platforms that they like. And oftentimes the providers, so the buoy owners, really enjoy hearing from people as well.
That's right. GLOS sits in a unique position where we make things win-win for everyone. So if we have a data provider or a partner that's giving data to us, they don't need to worry about sharing their data and maintaining their own Seagull-like platform because we take care of it for them. And then we also provide a service to you because you're able to access and consume the data and information that we provide on a freely basis anytime. Okay, well, where do you think it's going to go? I mean, we initially designed Seagull to scale for IoT or Internet of Things like devices. What types of things could we show in the future, I wonder?
Yeah, so one thing that we've been toting for a while is to have transient platforms, so things that aren't just in one spot. So definitely gliders and drifters are a big space. I think we'll see a lot of smaller sensors and things that maybe aren't like the typical big buoys or even like sun style. Maybe just a couple of sensors in a small package that can be deployed off of a dock somewhere that can share us information. So the technology is really expanding fast, and people are testing it and understanding its limitations. And I'm hoping that once people are comfortable to share this data, that they'll reach out to us, and we can get some of this data connected to our system to spread the word.
Well, Jen brought it up about being able to see if the beach is safe to go swimming or if the water is safe to drink at your local campground. We've even had users ask us where are the closest marinas or where could I get a cup of coffee maybe. And so for those in the United States, there's less Tim Hortons, although they do exist, but certainly in Canada, Tim Hortons is more popular. So wouldn't it be great to have Tim Hortons or Timmy's, as they say in Canada, and Starbucks on the map as well, which maybe we could do that.
That would be great. And Jen also mentioned expanding into winter observations. And I'm really pleased to say that this year we're funding 2 projects to deploy buoys over the winter. This is a time of year that's really underrepresented because of exactly that reason. It's cold, and buoys also get cold. Remember, if you're cold, they're cold. Bring them inside. But not these buoys. These buoys are staying out over winter, and we're going to have, not as much coverage, but we'll have almost one buoy in each lake, which is a big improvement from what we've had in previous years. So we're definitely moving in that direction, and we hope that these sort of testbed projects will be continuously expanded on with lessons learned among the community.
Well, you're making me cold just thinking about winter obs and buoys on the ice. I don't like to go swimming in cold water, but I know lots of people who do. It's a thing. Well, I think on that, Shelby, nothing else for today. We've had a great interview with Jen and updated our users on the history of Seagull platforms and where we hope to see it go, and particularly over the winter. And already I'm looking forward to next month.
I have one last question, Tim.
Great.
Are we going to dress Seagull up for Halloween?
Oh, that's a good idea. It could make it spooky. A spook goal.
just throwing it out there for future fun ideas. Anyways.
That's a good idea. All right. Well, let's talk to the development team and see what they can do for us on October the 31st.
Perfect. All right. Well, as always, offer us that feedback, as Jen said, and we will see you next month.
All right. And for those of you watching, we'd love to see you in the app, seagull.glos.org. If you ever have any feedback for us, write us at support@glos.org or use the orange feedback bar right inside Seagull. We look forward to seeing you in the app and on the next live stream. Bye for now.